I have decided to record a little bit of the new multi-tiered systems of support for adults that we are beginning to take into the schools this year. And I don't know when I've been so excited about learning. I have learned so much this summer, continue to learn about the power of focus, the power of embodied awareness, and the networks that light up in the brain and in the nervous system when we are intentional about a desire or a goal, getting out in front of our own default behaviors. We so often are just functioning from survival. And this is something I have thought about for so long. It is so tricky to begin a new hobby, a new behavior, a new practice, because our brain's job is to conserve energy. And anything that feels unfamiliar or threatening to the brain or the nervous system, we move into survival because that is our number one role as human beings. So we created this ladder of awareness and plasticity for adults. And I say this, it is for adults only. And I'm actually taking this into Lawrence Township schools in Indianapolis, into Rappahannock schools in Virginia. I'm going to be sharing this in Wisconsin this coming week. And it's just a game changer because we know that when we are rough, when we are dysregulated, our kids are experiencing that as well. Emotions are contagious. Our stress response systems are contagious. And as Resma Menachem says so often, settled adults have settled children and youth. So I just want to share my screen for just a couple of minutes, just to kind of give you a peek at what I'm learning and that what we in our PLCs, in our staff meetings, in our department meetings, in our team meetings, can begin to cultivate in our schools, not only to bring some empowerment to us, the adults, our staff, but to also bring some release and some relief in knowing that our nervous systems are always working for us and not against us. So I'm going to share my screen, and I am going to pull this up. So we're starting at the bottom of the ladder. And again, it's adult nervous system states. This is our ladder of awareness and plasticity. And in the subtitle, it's our work is our inward work. And it's not just that I've been learning this summer, I've actually been embodying this. And so as we move up this ladder, I'll just share with you on the first couple of rungs, we see self-awareness. I've also added some, not all, but some of the regions and areas in the brain that are impacted when we delve into either conceptual self-awareness or embodied self-awareness. And there's a difference between those two. That embodied self-awareness is in the present moment. It's when I feel my throat scratchy, or my stomach is rumbling, or my eye has something, I can feel something in my eye, or I'm feeling a tightness in my chest. That conceptual self-awareness is where we are, aware that it's a Wednesday, that it's midday. We are aware that it's cloudy out. We are aware that we might be feeling a little tired, a little glum. So there are distinct differences, and it matters. So I just want to read a couple of these highlights from self-awareness. It's about deliberate focus, attention, imagination, and reflection. Our awareness of how we are experiencing the environment, relationships, and the experiences around us is our operative power. It allows us to move in front of and prepare mentally for a challenging behavior or experience. It lessens the unknown and the unpredictability. It allows us to embody our biases and challenge the origins of our belief systems. It cultivates empathy. Our awareness is our lighthouse through the storms in life, and it is a beacon of hope that is unwavering when we tune in. And then we move into focus, which Dr. Tara Swart, even in one of her podcasts yesterday, talks about the reticular activating system, and how in this brainstem region, when that is activated, we're very selective, about what comes into our focus and what comes into our attention. Focus is the architect of our reality. Focus is our most precious currency. It's like a muscle in that our focus can be trained, it can be worked out and expanded, growing stronger and healthier. Again, it's filtered through the reticular activating system that allows us to pay attention and attend to what we desire. When our internal lens shifts, our external world cannot help but follow. Focusing is a process, and what we have traditionally focused upon feels familiar to the brain. Creating a new pathway, track, or condition of thought patterns brings uncertainty and unpredictability to the brain. And so that's why it's so hard to make a shift, because the brain prefers to be a homebody. The nervous system is content in the familiarity, in the predictability of what has been. So then we move up into our self-talk and our inner speech and our imagination. And what I'm learning about imagination is that it's one of our greatest human resources. We use it every day, all day, but we use it negatively. We imagine the worst. We worry. We think about what's going to happen tomorrow. That's using our imagination. We think about next week. We feel anxious meeting this person or encountering this experience. So this is normal, and we all do this, and we tend to be more negative because survival is the brain and the nervous system's number one role to protect us. So we're going to delve into imagination in the what could be. And along with tracking our inner speech, our inner dialogue, self-talk, we're going to take a really fun dive into momentum and visualization, not the woo-woo visualization. I'm not talking about vision boards. I am talking about the areas of the brain that are activated when we create a mental image and work it out. And one of the ways that we can create a strong mental image of plasticity is to use a lot of sensory detail and positive emotion, because emotion is the driver. And then we move into creating psychological safety and then co-regulation. We look at our collective adult nervous system states in our schools, in a department, in a grade level, in an organization. And then we have to really bring in the power of heart intelligence as well. And this is just so exciting because lasting, I don't even want to say happiness, but when there is sustainable curiosity, when there is sustainable steadiness, when we feel a sense of purpose, it comes also through the heart. And our hearts and our brains have this bidirectional highway along with our gut. So this is the ladder. And we also, I'm going to stop sharing. We also have with the ladder practices for adults to begin to integrate in PLCs and department meetings to share with parents, caregivers, and really taking time and space to lean into one another and to find some out of the box thinking, processing, and dreaming, imagining, reflecting, and creating and cultivating. So I'm very excited. And this is, again, this is where we get a shift in student behaviors, where our discipline protocols the lens begins to really move into the lens of the nervous system, and where we feel a sense of being seen and heard and felt.